treat. It was not expecting this, and very joyful. Mark Mathis, I've never not seen you in black.
I can go change if you want to.
I'm
Well,
black, white. I'm good. It's
right. Black or white, we're good. And hot colors too. Hi, I'm Janine Bolin. Welcome to Open Friday Coffee. Mark and Rich are longtime folks of me, as well as Jeff. And then Lynette, I wanted you just to wave at everybody because she is the one that runs behind the scenes. And if you've ever met me on social media or been on my messaging service or something like that, then you know you know Lynette. So thank you, Lynette. I wanted to honor you here at the last Open Friday Coffee, and she prefers to have her camera off. And I said, that's fine, just for this morning. Did you want to say anything before we have you disappear into the back and take care of the links? Okay. No, thank you. No speaking. I did a lot just getting her on video, actually. So thank you, Lynette. Appreciate you. She will be handling the links. It's wonderful to see all of you, Diane, Linda, Kathy, Mr. Gay. Pleasure to meet Engage Pro. We'll have to talk in a moment. Terry, it has been a hot minute. And then Robert, thank you for showing up. Clara, oh my gosh, we haven't seen each other since Louisiana, and I believe that was 2015 was when we met in person. And then Gabriella, lovely to see you. And then Jan, when you feel like putting on your video, go ahead. I have a very quick slide deck, and I I'll admit I'm going full woo-woo today because many of you know I'm a scientist and an author, but I'm also a shaman. And so today I'm going to go full woo-woo and talk a little bit about all of that. Please, yes, you are in the right place. Many times my woo-woo people will go, this looks like business. Am I in the right place? And I'm like, no. I've got this thing going on in my head of scientist as well as shaman. So yes, you're in the right place. Anyhow, so I'm going full on shaman on you guys, and we're going to talk about how to harmonize your holidays. It's a very quick slide deck. It won't take very long. And then we'll get to chatting it up with everybody else. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you. And that way we can have a bit of fun with what we have set up on that. So how to go about harmonizing your holidays. As a shaman, I have a group of people called Circle of the Sacred Heart. And basically, we're shamans from all walks of life. We're also rabbis. We have a couple of Christian deacons and a pastor. And we're just a group of people that come together to see what we can do to support one another, since there is such a great need in our world for mental health and spiritual guidance. And so I want to honor all of you who have done that for us. Thank you very much for the mentoring that you continue to do. Harmonizing my holidays started in 1997 when I asked a question of my family, and that was, what makes Christmas special to you? I was driving myself nuts with 4 children under the age of 10. And I was driving myself nuts trying to make Christmas magical for them. And I realized I never really asked them what was the thing or the things that made Christmas special. When I started asking people specifically what makes Christmas special for you so that I could make that happen for them, my list went from 25 items to 5. So I just wanted to let you know it's one of those things that happens that when you actually ask people about a holiday, however you celebrate December, whether it's the winter solstice or Boxing Day, love you, Canada. One of the things that I want to share with you is ask your people what makes this holiday special. It will totally cut your list down. So it was by accident that I started this it was a pamphlet I would hand out to my students when I was a college professor. How to harmonize your holidays when you go when you go back home. How do you harmonize with a family when you've been living on your own for a while and they want you to be that person that you aren't anymore, right? So those are some of the things that we talked about. The biggest thing is kind of embrace nature's cycles, okay? As we're getting ready to move into the holiday, realize the winter solstice is coming up. This is the longest night of the year. Please realize that for people who are tribal in orientation, this is a significant holiday because for their ancestors, it was a time of great trial. They were getting ready to move into seasons that would not feed them. Spring is one of the hardest times when you are agrarian or you are a hunter-gatherer because spring is when you have the least amount of food. So you would always pray that you had enough food put by for the winter. And so the winter solstice was seen as that kind of time. We are so fortunate in this day and age that we have such an abundance of food. The thing is I just wanted to let you know, when it comes to the winter solstice, the way I approach it now is it is a time to take that long night of the soul, right? Joseph Campbell talks about the dark night of the soul. Well, I don't make it that negative. I'm more positive about it. I'm like, this is the time when I am going to really look at what I am doing in my life. What do I keep? What do I throw away? It also is kind of interesting how we have a new moon usually during the winter solstice. So just some ideas for those of you who follow such things. This is the natural cycle of our planet as it revolves around the sun. I want to go big picture on you. A little cosmology. Okay, we have 4 times of the year that are very prominent and causes great change. And people have it buffet them and they don't even realize that this is something that happens to them every year and they don't really know how to keep track of it. But you have what tribal people call winter teachings. So during the winter solstice, they're teaching their people because you got a lot of darkness. And before electricity, you didn't want to spend a lot of money trying to keep an area lit. So what you do is sit around the campfire, and guess what you did to spend time? You told your people's teachings, okay? You told your family stories. During the spring equinox, that was a time that could be great hunger. And so there was also it was a time of travel. It was a time to get moving. It was a time like, okay, things are starting to bud. Let's go find out where the buffalo are. Let's go find out where the herds are. That kind of thing. It was lots of travel during the spring. Summer was a time where there was great abundance. And then, of course, in the fall was all the harvesting if you were agrarian. So realize that these 4 points in our Earth's travel around the sun have significance and impact on what we do. So just wanted to remind people about this lovely little blue marble that runs around this great little tiny sun of ours. I always focus on vision boards during this time of year. And vision boards, I know some people are like, why does cutting out pictures and using glue and pasting things on cardboard like I used to do in kindergarten? Why are you asking me to do this, Janine? I actually had a gentleman who made about 350,000 a year. And I said, okay, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to give you a vision board. I want you to build it out. He resisted strongly. And I said, unless you bring it into 3-dimensional space-time, it's not going to work for you, dude. And I started using a lot of mathematics and physics to describe to him why this needed to happen. And basically what you're doing is creating a singularity. Your vision board is a singularity. It brings focus to you in your now. What is it that I've wanted in the past? What do I want in the future? What do I want to give? What do I want to get? What do I want to have? What do I want to do? And most importantly, who do I want to be? Right? These are things that you make choices on, and this is what your vision board does for you. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the woo-woo side of life, and that is that intuition, that feeling in your gut, that situation that you have in your life where we call it the 5 clairs. Now, each sense has what we call extrasensory perception, right? And a lot of people who are very rational and like to use science don't like these words. And I understand that because it is very subjective. So we're just going to go through them. Clairvoyance is the ability to see clearly. This used to mean that you were a prophet, you could see into the future. Nowadays, it means you can see into different spaces or times. There are people that we know, the military uses them, that can see into spaces and times through their clairvoyance. Clairaudience is to be able to hear things. I have exceptional hearing. Back in the 1980s and 90s, I could hear the audio sounds of cameras that were in stores. And it would drive me nuts. I could always tell surveillance cameras. Now that we're in the digital age, things have quieted down. It's lovely. Clairsentience is clear feeling. This is where you may be sitting in a room by yourself and all of a sudden you feel somebody tap you on the shoulder, or you feel something on your body, like a presence is there and you're alone. You're okay person. You're not insane. You're just having what we call an extraordinary experience. Okay. Clairalience is clear smelling. This is after somebody has died. You may smell their perfume, a cigar, their type of cigarette, something like that. You will smell something that will trigger a memory. And clairgustance, this is clear tasting. If you want to learn more about this one, it is an unusual one to have and also significant. You can reach out to me later. What can happen for somebody who is a mystic, a shaman, is this time of year is very confusing. Because why? Well, people are experiencing emotions they've kept buried pretty deeply most of the year, but now they're going back to family, or now they were remembering family, or maybe their particular religion is having them remember their ancestors. It just depends. There's a lot of emotions that surface, such as, grief, bitterness, revenge, dismay. A lot of things can happen. And also, the kids are ecstatic. So the kids are running around, can't wait to find out what's going to happen next. They're in there now, they're in joy, they're exuberant. So to say that you might be picking up on a lot of this, yes, you are. The biggest thing is just breathe. Just breathe. Just don't forget to breathe, as they say to everyone. I don't care. You can use a breathing technique if you want, whatever. Don't forget that sometimes we hold our breath. So if you want to talk to other people about it, Kathy McGranahan and Mark Mathis are two people you may want to touch base with. It's also the time where you might want to start doing the Carl Jung's shadow meditation that is on the Practical Mystic Show. If you want the link to that, email me. I will be happy to send it to you. But it's on my YouTube channel, The Janine Bolin Show. You can just type in Carl Jung shadow meditation. It should pop up for you. The biggest thing is the Japanese have recently done a study that you will lower your blood pressure by looking at images of nature. You don't even have to be in nature. You don't have to physically be present. Just looking at the pictures will put you in a place that's much nicer. This is when I was in England and I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of southern Missouri, the rolling downs, okay, of the Ozark foothills, and England were similar. This is some woods that I happened to be walking through when I was in England. And this is a beach that I took a picture of when I was at Maui. I've traveled a lot. In case you haven't noticed, travel is my favorite form of education. The biggest thing is in December, people would like to be able to go into their cave and just hide sometimes. I recommend you do that through a process called meditation. You can always go into your own personal cave. And guess what? You can create in that hole, in that place, your own little building, construct your own. I think the big term now is your own mind palace. And people, with great genius are able to put a lot of stuff. I am not a great genius, but I use my mind palace to hide away from people, things, and places that I don't want to participate in. And what I do is I create, by the way, I'm teaching you the Carl Jung shadow meditation here in this moment, is you create a couch, 2 chairs, and a table. And what you're doing is you're talking to your subconscious when you're doing this sort of meditation. And you can make that chair, 2 tables, 2 chairs, a table, and your couch to look like anything one. That couch you've always wanted, can't afford, put it in there. You're fine. And then what you're going to do, I prefer, by the way, to use outdoor facilities. This is more like what my mind palace is. I like being outdoors with campfires and stuff like that. The point is, you're wanting to set up an environment for your subconscious to talk to you. So you want to have a couch, 2 tables, and a chair. And what you're going to do is talk to your subconscious mind, and it sees this. Your subconscious speaks in pictures and very simple geometric shapes. And so with Carl Jung, he decided the way you can talk to your subconscious is you enter the bag. The bag goes on the table, and in your meditation, when your breathing is calmed and you feel calm, you open the bag, let things come out of the bag, and the things that come out of the bag is your subconscious letting you know what are your blockages that are keeping you from going where you want to go. This is how you finish clearing it. And as a shaman, I teach this over and over to people. The longest anybody that I have worked with has ever had to do this was 14 days in a row, and they cleared whatever blockages they have. So Carl Jung, thank you very much. Want to honor you with that. Here are my 4 favorite books on the topics of woo-woo: Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, Eckhart Tolle and New Earth, and the 4 Agreements. I use this in pretty much every aspect of my life. And then, of course, Total Self-Serving, Expressing the Divine, a guidebook for the enlightened soul. I've read so many different books. I amalgamated it all together into the processes and systems I use as a scientist / shaman, and how I keep those worlds whirling in harmony in my own life. So these are from my other classes. Don't worry about that. But just realize that every day is a blank slate, and you have a brand new box of 64 Crayola crayons. Remember Christmas? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. For those of you who celebrate different holidays, you understand. It's like you get that box of crayons, and it's new at Christmas time, and you open them up, and the smell. And remember, That kind of excitement is what I want you to carry on with each day so that you color your life in the way that you want. Your blank slate awaits, all right? I want you to do this. And just one reminder, don't forget to keep laughing, okay? Even in the face of insanity and craziness that can be our family, please don't forget to laugh, all right? It is a wonderful therapeutic. Thank you for your patience. I've had several people who told me, Janine, I can't make it. Please use the slide deck. So I did. So I would like to open the floor up for anyone who wants to ask questions. So go ahead. Who wants to ask questions or has comments? It's been lovely chatting with you all today. We will see you later. I will send you on your way. I'm not going to keep you if you don't have any comments. For starters, I'm going to honor somebody who's near and dear to my heart, and that is Mr. Thomas Gay. Mr. Gay, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Janine. And I really enjoyed that. You know, we're in this hustle bustle. For some of us, it's the holidays. For some of us, it's wrapping up or getting ready for a new year, wrapping up an old year. And, you know, it takes time. If you got to take time and give yourself the gift of time to just reflect, look inside, you just helped me do that. So thank you.
You are very welcome. I always appreciate it. And the reason I'm reaching out to Thomas is we've recently had multiple deaths in our family. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And what I mean by our family, I mean in the Brain Trust and in people in our network. I don't know about anybody else, but in this past week, I've had 3 people that have passed. And I was very grateful they showed up to Open Friday Coffee. I was able to talk to them. And I just wanted to say, you are all near and dear to my heart. And just know that this is the season of diametrically opposed emotions, grief, regret, fear, depression, jubilation, joy, excitement. Okay, we have it all. So welcome to planet Earth. You wanted an e-ticket ride for those of you who remember such things from Disneyland. It is a roller coaster. You are welcome. Okay, this is the time when it happens. Mr. Butwin, what can we do for you, my sir?
I just want to comment on what you talked about. I thought it was a brilliant conversation. I don't know if I realized you were a shaman or not.
I'm coming out of the closet.
Well, part of my past and part of as it relates to what you talked about is I was on the board of directors of Amazon Herb. When I was on the board of directors of Amazon Herb, they were dealing with the indigenous people in the rainforest. And so I had the experience of a different type of meditation, which was the ayahuasca, which I would not do in North America. But again, it's understanding at a real deep level the things you need to release. Because, one of the things, and again, I loved what you said, but one of the things that are holding many people back from creating the whatever success they're looking for is they're carrying around too much baggage. So the way you articulated, the way you were very clear, I thought you did a really good job, and you and I definitely want to reconnect. It's been too long.
It has, and that is part of this Open Friday Coffee was invitation only. You had to receive an invitation from me. The fact that you were the group of people that responded to me lets me know that in order to move into 2025, you are needed in my world in some way. How is that for being self-centered and narcissistic? Okay, just wanted to shout that out there. Yeah, it's all about me. And I hope you're sitting there in your space saying it's all about me. I want you to be saying that same thing, because how can I co-create the existence that you want for your soul on this planet if you aren't thinking about yourself and then thinking about me? I'm going to tell you 3 things I know about you for being on this call today. Number 1, you're a giver. You're taken advantage of. Number 2, you're an empath. Other people's emotions overwhelm you on occasion and you have to go hide. Number 3, you're in the right place. This is a brain trust that is built for you. Open Friday Coffee will continue through 2025, but I am not going to be in your inbox. Okay? If you want me to do that, I'm shutting down, just to let you know, I'm shutting down my social media. If you go on to social media, you will speak to Lynette. I will not be there. Number 2, I do not have a MailChimp account anymore. We shut it down. I moved everybody over to my beta readers. That's where you can stay in touch with me once a week. And Lynette, if you'd be kind enough, you can sign up. What I'm doing is every time I rewrite a book, or anytime I'm doing a new project, I invite you to join it, but don't expect a lot of sales from me. You're just going to get content. So if you're into that, you can sign up. Otherwise, you're not going to hear from me. So this was kind of my last ditch effort of blasting everybody out that ever been to Open Friday Coffee. If you want to stay there in that place with me, this is how you do it, because I'm moving off of all of these programs that have supposedly promised the moon and have done nothing but complicate my life. So this is Janine keeping it KISS. All right. Kisses to you too. All right. So I'm going to go around the room, since after our two gentlemen were kind enough to get us rocking and rolling. Good morning, Mark Mathis. Such a joy to meet you and see you. Canada A, thank you for being in the house.
Well, thank you for the invite. I thought yesterday, I says, hey, I'm going to take a look at my schedule. I really want to be with you today, and I just wanted to spread the news around what you're doing, and just be part of it. That's all.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's wonderful to have you with us. Rich Beyer, I normally leave you for last, but you know what? We're mixing it up today. We're going to do the black-white thing. Since Mark's wearing white, you got on black. Let's go. What's happening? What's behind you?
What's behind me? A dumpster. And the dumpster is completely, I mean, look at it. It's just completely stickered with people's sense of expression and whatnot. And filled, it's a functioning dumpster. It's filled with all kinds of wrap, looks like Amazon boxes. Look, it's New York. I just love shit like this. You know, it's the real stuff on the streets, and that's just what it is for me. All right. So now that
Wonderful.
being said, Janine, Mark
Sir.
Mathis, Jeff Bourgeois, and Matt Roseman, four extremely important people from this group in my life. My life is a very different place now than when I first stepped into these Friday coffees. And I made the mistake one time of saying in front of Janine, and in front of Jeff that I was bookless.
Yes, I remember
And
that one.
that was, so those of you, I saw a few reactions, so you know how that turned out. So I've just come out with my second book now, and it's purely as a result of these guys. Matt Roseman, you've been helping me with my computer and my email issues and all that. So you're my IT guy extraordinaire moving forward from now on and ever. And I just want to say that this is about as networking up as I could have possibly done. And I thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome, and thank you very much.
And Mark Mathis for his Reset It program.
His Reset It program, you bet. So we help each other here, and we don't sell to each other. If you want to work with us, you're welcome to. We always invite, but you know, we let you know what we're doing. But otherwise, we really are a harmonic group in that I am not going to have you hire me if I know there's somebody else in my group who's much better for you. And that's what you'll find with pretty much every person that is in here. So if somebody like a Robert or a Thomas reach out to you, these are power networkers that have been doing it for years and years. And these two gentlemen, I called on them first. They actually volunteered, but I call on them first because they are people who care, and they are people who are here mentoring the next generation, and they don't ask for much in return. They let you know what they're involved in, but they're not going to sell you. And that's what I love about everybody in this group is this is not a selling group. If you are looking for a harmonic place, this is the place to go. So Jeff Bourgeois, Canada A, yet again in the house. Lovely to see you. I butcher his name every time. Would you say your name for me, please?
You put too much effort into it. It's Bourgeois. Bourgeois.
Thank you.
Exactly as it's spelled.
It's now recorded, and I'm going to listen to my own recording. Go ahead.
Well, I really came, Janine, because I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas, and of course to Matt and Rich, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, guys! Yeah, our Hanukkah, our Hebrew ha-has. We can't forget them.
But really, I'm just here. I have nothing really to share other than if you're not using AI, why not? You know, I think it's one of those. I'm tired of telling people they should check it out, but it's just you know, Tom, you and I need to catch up as well. But what I'm seeing AI doing and doing well is, believe it or not, I've synthesized empathy, and if you can synthesize empathy, you can do anything in terms of client retention. So I've admitted publicly that I'd rather talk to AI than humans. Mark, I figured out my coding. Um, AI doesn't have as many baggages and biases, so I would encourage all of you to check out AI. It's cheaper than therapy.
It really is. And Jeff has figured out ways to get it to help him through those tough times. So, seriously, if you have any questions about AI or you're terrified of it or you just feel resistance to it in any way, shape, or form, Jeff can walk you through that process. We're going to move on to Linda and then Terry. And so, Linda Wimple, oh my dear, it has been a couple years. Lovely to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I had a car accident about 15 weeks ago,
Oof.
and it was interesting. But
That's an understatement of the universe. Go ahead.
But I let me talk. I had the decision to make if I wanted to continue or not,
Correct.
and I obviously want to continue.
That makes me
And
happy. I don't want to be alone. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you on purpose.
but my next step in our process, because I am my own client, and that is to have my own podcast. So I'm really close to having that done. And so in January, but when I received your invitation, I thought, you know what? Because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of that podcast because I like to be behind the scenes. But I feel like, I mean, it's just the next step.
Right.
And just getting that courage to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is terrifying. It's like being an author or anybody creative. You are putting yourself out there. And once you do that, who knows what's going to happen? And we like to say, I don't care what other people think. I hear people say that to me all the time. And the answer is, yes, you do. Do a podcast, write a book, or put your art out there and you'll watch people recoil. So Linda, congratulations. When you're ready for guests, when you want guests for your podcast, reach out to Open Friday Coffee, and that way we can send you people who actually have media kits and can bring you talk topics, and they're whole and complete. They're not looking for you to fill a void. Does that work for you?
it does. Could I have the link to that?
To what?
I mean, who to connect with? I mean, do I just connect with you?
Pretty much, connect with me and anybody else on Open Friday Coffee that wants to be guests. So if you don't mind saying in the chat, somebody, if you want to be on a podcast, I want to be on your podcast, just ask. People will say yes or no, depending upon their comfort level. Okay?
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Go ahead, Mr. Robert.
I was gonna say, Linda, and you and I know each other, but I'm happy to be on your podcast. But as a networker, I can fill your dance card with high quality people anytime you want. That's not a problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he can. So
thank you so much, Robert.
But I would like to be on your podcast too. So, okay.
Thank you, Janine.
No problem. Terry and then Clara. Terry, what's happening? Happy New Year, almost. And you're on mute, my love. We have a few you're on mute cards floating around that might be able to be flashed at this time.
There I am.
There we are. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Call me. I will give you my contact information. I've been doing a podcast for 4 years. It's not hard. It's very easy. I guess because I love to talk, I wasn't that nervous in the beginning. I was nervous, but the person training me said, you have to just start. You can't just keep putting it off. You can't just keep preparing. You just have to jump in and start. And so I did. I've been doing it for 4 years. Janine was one of my guests. It was great. We loved it. So I'd be happy to be a guest, but we could talk about your nerves and all. It's not hard. And I love, love, love doing my podcast. It's my favorite thing to do. So I'm retiring this year from real estate.
Bravo.
Janine, I'm not in Florida yet, but I'm getting there. I have to rethink because I must have some blocks somewhere because I'm not there yet. And I've been trying really hard for a year. So I'm going to do the meditations and try and unblock. But I've been doing my podcast for 4 years, preparing for the day when I quit real estate and I only do my podcast. and I'll be moving to Florida. I'll be doing it from there, but I love podcasting. It's my favorite thing to do. So we can talk.
Okay.
I'd be
Okay.
glad to.
Terry, I'm going to cut you off right there because you know that's what I do as a radio show host. I'm very direct that way. Terry, the blocks definitely do the Carl Jung meditation for as
Okay.
many days until the bag is empty. Then once the
Okay.
bag is empty, would you please contact Mark and he does the reset it, okay? And
Oh, okay.
that will help. And then depending upon how far woo-woo you want to go, I have another person I'll recommend, but I'm going to save her for a little bit. Clara, I'm sorry, my daughter's name is Claire. I see your name and I go, Claire. Clara, lovely to see you, my dear. What are you doing for 2025?
Wow. Okay, so nothing happens by accident, right? So I'm work with women leaders over 45, and I'm incorporating in the leadership and management coaching the 4 seasons, because you know, even if you base everything on your strengths, there's still the seasons in the company. So when the company starts, it's the spring, so you want people with ideas, the one with the head in the clouds, and then you want someone in the summer with a more summer energy, where they need to sort of get the other people and get all the right people together to make it happen. And then you need the nurturers that will come and help, you know what your clients want and everything. And then the systems in the winter, where you're preparing for then maybe another product or another idea. So it's so it really spoke to me, that little presentation that you did at the beginning, because that's what I'm incorporating now in my coaching. And it's nothing happens by accident. And I really enjoyed seeing you and your tribe.
No, thank you. And the brain trusts are all independent agents. I'm going to use the matrix model. The brain trust is all independent agents, and they are courteous enough to join me on a Friday morning to chat with me. So thank you, Clara. And some ideas as a writer, words that came to me is you had the spring, and then when you hit summer, that's your community builders. All right. So you may want to use the word community builder at that time.
Thank you.
Yeah, that might help understand that a little bit more. And English, it's always fun. We have a lot of words, and you can usually find a word somewhere that you need. And so we're going to go to Jan Mathau and then Ingrid. Jan, wow, lady, great to see you. Talk to me about relationship marketing and send out cards. And you're on mute. Thank you, Jeff. If you want a You're on Mute card, we'll send you a link so you can sign up for it. Go ahead, Jan. What's happening in the world?
You hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I'm thankful for the invitation today that I could get in on your last one this year. You know, it's been a challenging year for me health-wise, but I'm on the road to recovery, so that's good. So
I would like to get on a phone call with you at some point. So continue on. What can I do for you?
So send out cards. I've lost a lot of my customers. I'm not really sure why, but I guess I need to delve into that a little more about why so many are leaving, if it's cost, or I have been hearing complaints about how much postage is, and even though it's included in the cards, still makes the packages a little more expensive. So
okay, hang on. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there, Jan. We're going to fix this situation for you. Ready? You ready? All those people who are leaving are no longer members of your tribe. What they're doing is they're making space for people who are energetic, who are new, who want to come in there. Direct mail marketing is hitting it. It's hot. I have direct mail coming to me all the time. And the thing is, people are going into people's mailboxes because their inboxes are full. If you have a 3-dimensional card, like the reason I give out those You're on Mute cards, number one, they're practical. And to the Taurus that I am, I want to give you a gift that is freaking practical, and you're going to use it almost every day. And if you're on Zoom, you're going to use it, right? The second thing, Direct mail has a 99.8% open rate, and the 2% that don't open it is because they lost it behind the couch. They'll find it 3 years from now, and they'll open it up and they'll tell you about it. Direct mail is the best thing that ever happened. So don't you listen to anyone and send out cards who's not doing well. I'm doing well. I got new people every day that come on. I am now making about $150 a month from people who are using send out cards. You know what's great about that? I spend $155 a month on send out cards. So I just now have enough people who are in my send out card system that are paying for the cards I send to you. Boom, boom. Forgive me, Jan, we're going to move on, but don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about, at least not from the worldview, according to Janine. Take care, Jan. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you
I
for
liked
being here.
I liked your comment about reminding people that the holidays and Christmas is about giving. I think people get so wrapped up in gifts and everything that you got to remember other people and give. Tomorrow, our family is ringing bells for the entire day. It's over 20 years we've been doing that. So it's kind of a tradition for us.
Have fun ringing bells. We'll talk to you again soon. Reach out. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Ingrid and then Diane. Ingrid, so nice to see you, dear. What can Brain Trust do for you today?
I'm glad to be here. I don't know. Perfect timing, Janine. Like, where did you even come from? I guess you come from like perfect timings, right? It was really nice to see your invite in the email. And I'm like, yeah, let's be there. And then start with this lovely opening. Oh my goodness, just what I needed to hear. So anyway, 2025, exciting year. I couldn't agree more with Jeff. AI is amazing. So I've been embracing how to teach businesses to bring it into their business. And I've got a webinar that I do monthly, some other cool things coming down the pipeline, podcast. I want to help folks who don't know how to use it be on the podcast, and we'll find a place to use it. So I guess if anybody's interested, and geez, I don't even know where to start.
Okay, so Ingrid, we're going to shut you, stop right there. This is the thing. Next year, the power is in collaboration. The power is going to be with you finding people who are doing almost identical things to you, but just enough different so that your two personalities will shine and you will attract the people to you who want to work with your personality. So Ingrid and Jeff, get on a meeting with each other when you guys get done with your holiday season. Meet sometime in January. And then Jeff is very, he really doesn't like dealing with people. Ingrid, do you enjoy community?
I do, and I've been wanting to expand that more.
Well, do you think you could help Jeff out by pulling in military veterans and stuff and guiding? Because he likes to work with the military veterans. Do you see? Is that your community?
I did see that. It's not necessarily my community, but I do know some lovely folks, and I think that that's beautiful.
So your communities are not in direct competition. So because of that, define your community very specifically. Jeff needs that. Jeff is highly analytic. Excuse me as I speak for you, Jeff, because I do that. I do that. But anyway, he's highly analytical, and you need to be very specific. Like we're talking 3 or 4 words. Like this is all we need. Why? Because then Jeff goes to AI. And see how the two of you can make money together and also give to the communities that you care about. Okay. So that's how I would start.
Yes.
And then if you ever do anything with YouTube, you want to speak with Linda Wimple.
Yes, that's what I wrote down too.
Linda, if you want to get on the first page of YouTube because that's important for your strategy or your tactics, please speak with Linda. Okay. Diane. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, moving on. Diane and then Mike. Diane, great to see you. How are you doing today? What can we do?
Good morning. Great to see everyone. My gosh. I was excited to get your invitation as well, Janine. I think I've met you earlier in the year on another networking group that Rich and Mark and I are a member of. And so it's been a minute since I've been in one of these meetings, but I just joined this morning just to, to be a part of everything. I was reading, what was coming up and, what you were going to be talking about. And of course, the beginning presentation was just amazing. I really enjoyed that. So just to being among all of you, intelligent, inspiring people. This is what I need right now. I thought, you know what, that there was a reason that I got that invitation. So I need to jump on board. So it's just great to be here.
All right. Is there anything the Brain Trust can do for you to help you with 2025? Because in this room, we know thousands of people.
Sure. No, I understand. I'm actually embarking on more speaking engagements, podcasts. In fact, I'll be reaching out to a couple of you with your podcasting and so forth. But yeah, I'm just looking for more opportunities to spread the word and get out what I do. I work with debt and money management, so I'm reaching out to more people to make it a better, hopefully help them, enhance their lives even better. I've worked with Mark and, everything's been
Okay. All
reset
right. So
and that kind of
Diane,
thing. So,
I'm
yeah.
going to ask you, do you have a media kit?
Do I have a media kit? And I do not. No.
Okay, you need to build a media kit. And Lynette, I can't
Okay.
remember if I have that link on there. I have a media kit course for $147 that you can run through, or you can come on to the next Open Friday Coffee and say, Janine, please talk about a media kit, and I'll do that in January. But get a media kit before you start asking people to be on their podcasts. I mean, for starting people who are just starting out, like Linda Wimple and stuff like that, when they're just starting, no problem. But as you move up, please do not talk to Robert and get his level of people until you have your media kit put together. You want to have talk topics, you want it defined, you want to hit them as the solid professional that you are, but you need to have that media kit, okay?
Oh,
It
sure.
helps
Okay.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I've
I
done a
have
number of them, but I don't have that. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that just sets the bar, and it just makes it harmonizing for everyone. Makes it easy. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Diane.
you.
Appreciate you being here. Mike, talk to us from Peru. Hey, I was on Amtrak the other day and I was thinking about you, and when are you doing the Amtrak tour, dude?
It's coming up. It's got to start in August. I've got to qualify for a certain level in the contest, and once I'm there, then I'm there.
Okay, so
This time we launched from the East Coast, so it's going to be a better
you're going to
shot.
come from the East Coast and then move, but you've got it, whether you live or die and you go west, you have to come through Denver. So get a hot cup of coffee and a lunch if you visit Denver. So
please come to Denver.
That's right. Sing along with me. So what can the Brain Trust do for you to help you achieve what you want to achieve in 2025?
And I've got a new thing I'm doing, and I know you like new things. And some people know just do one thing, but you've got a lot of irons in the fire. Rich
I
knows
don't know what you mean.
Exactly. So to you, it's not even that. It's just a lot of threads. And I was curious about how you handle these things, because I've always had a bad habit of like starting new stuff without finishing old stuff. But this is different. This is to fill that gap. When you start a business, your first priority is, oh, I got this idea for a business. Let's start with a speaking coach. So I know that I'm a little bit further down the line. So I've got an assessment tool to test people's readiness, and I'm building it.
Okay, wait a minute, Mike. What can we do for you?
Well, my question for you is this: how do you take all these different things you do and weave them together? Are they just completely unrelated, and whoever you need, whatever they need, you just serve that? Or do you kind of weave all these things into one service?
Yes. I weave it all into one service, huh, Kathy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you weave it all. Kathy McGranahan, I'm going to introduce her since Mike, beautiful segue. We'll pay you your $20 later. Kathy is a shaman as well, and she and I met in the woo-woo space, both two whirlwinds in a Native American ceremony. And speaking, like Robert was talking about the Ashakwa herbs, Kathy and I are shamans that do not practice the use of hallucinogens. We're not trained in that. We don't do it. I have interviewed multiple people who do that. If you want a hallucinogenic experience, or you want that mind transition experience, that transformative experience, it depends on what you are after in your life. Then I have people that I can refer to you who are trustworthy. They just happen to be in Canada. His name's Stephen Gray, and it's on a secret site. Yet again, Mike, another secret site on my website, where I have that 5-session interview I did with him, where he walks through the process and why you need somebody who is specially trained, like Robert was talking about. You don't want just anybody. So Kathy, back to her, she and I were at this thing, and we basically shut down one of the ceremonies that were ceremonies, so-called, being in place, because it was an excuse for people to just smoke dope and drink beer and and goof off. And so we've had a lot of fun shutting things down as well as starting things up. And so how do you integrate all of it, Mike? That is a conversation that I can have with you, but requires more time than I have available in the next 14 minutes before we have to leave. So you need to get on a call with me, and Lynette has my calendar link for a session. Okay, so Kathy, hi. Well, how is my favorite shaman on the other side of the Mississippi? We divide the United States in half. I take the west side, she takes the east side. Go for it.
We have snow, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, because she's from, go ahead, say the state.
I'm originally from Ohio, but I'm in Wisconsin now.
Wisconsin. I just
Wisconsin.
love it.
Yeah, I'm in the southwest corner, west of Madison, south of La Crosse. So I'm very happy here.
She's also way down. You talk about somebody similar to Jeff Bourgeois when it comes to removing herself from community and only interacting with it when she deems it necessary. This is a woman who lives down not one, but two different dirt roads. And when she contacts me or calls me, she's like, all right, well, I'm about ready to lose reception. I'm about ready to leave pavement and hit dirt. Talk to you later.
Is it like Green Acres where you have to climb a phone pole?
No, I live 3 miles from a town.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get there from here, meaning you have to make a serious effort to actually come see me. Because there's no, like, what's that word? Uber or anything like that, you know.
She cannot get pizza delivered. That's my thing. You know you're out in the stick. If you cannot get pizza delivered, you are out in the sticks. I have people say all the time, oh, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I said, can you get pizza delivered? Well, yeah. I'm like, no. So anyway, we just like to share that. If you are in need of a shaman, or if you are one of those, you think yourself to be an ordinary person and you have some sort of an extraordinary experience, you want to chat with Kathy. She was one of my guests. You can look her up on the Practical Mystic Show where we describe and discuss a lot of those things. So yes, Kathy, anything we can help you do with 2025?
So it's time to come out of my turtle shell.
Yeah, I wondered when that was going to happen. This is her version of coming down from the mountain and joining the community. And notice it's on a Zoom meeting. I see how you're cheating there. Go ahead. How can we help?
So it's everything. I'm not on the internet. I'm not anywhere. I'm familiar with AI. So
yeah. All right. Call me, set up an appointment. We need to chat. Okay. All right.
Turtle time.
All right. And if anybody here can assist you with any of your exploration, we're definitely going to recommend it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So come on back. All right. And last but not least, our other Hebrew haha, and that is Matt Roseman. You guys know him as our 1-minute tech tip guy, but we're giving him a break today if he wishes it, mainly because this is the invitation only Open Friday coffee. Everybody else thinks that they've already had the last one. And we sent out invitations to people who had come, who we wanted to show up. And so Nerdy Matt is the guy that if you want to save a few dollars as you try to find those end of the year sales, one of the things I set up with Matt, and forgive me, Matt, I know you probably didn't have this set up, but I had a series of things I wanted to buy at the end of last year. And he went through and found all the coupon codes, all the ones that were active. He was better than any of the AIs that are doing this. Like he found all these things. And so I was going to spend X amount of dollars. And what I ended up doing is the amount of money he saved me, I gave him half. So that was $200 because he saved me $400. All right. So if that's of value to you, this is yet another service that our lovely tech tip guy offers.
Wait, I got a quick question. None of us have ever met Matt. How do we know that he's not a bot?
Because he was in his car a few minutes ago.
Actually, a funny story. I was at Discount Tire getting new tires because I was soul searching, and but the thing is, don't worry, I will tread lightly, okay? So
you're on the rim of disaster.
Exactly. Well, I think just, skid and bear it. So anyway,
And they go on, people. Trust me, we've had
You
Open
steer this
Friday coffee.
conversation to something more. You steer it into something more germane.
yes, I know you guys are really tired from me talking about this. So
Okay, we're moving
anyway.
into a pedestrian topic. Oh, I love you guys. Well done. Well done. Touche. Touche. You
Yes.
both are awesome.
So it's, to me, it is a great honor to be here. I always enjoy coming to this group, and I always enjoy and I appreciate Janine and Rich and Jeff and some of the other people that come on here regularly, Mike as well. Nancy Fields is not here as well. So again, my goal always is to pay it forward nerdy style and to make sure that you guys are protected from what's out there, but know that I am always the kosher AI safety bot, to sit there and help you. Exactly. I had to throw it out there. And so don't actually want to come up with this shit. It just ran.
So this means you can't eat meat and milk while you're working on your computer?
Exactly. And unless the AI algorithm finds some way for me to do so. So, but it's great. To me, that's something I pride myself in. I'm very grateful. It's my hobby. It's my profession. My heart's into it. So I truly want what's best for you in terms of your nerdy needs. And
Thank
so
you.
and that just traverses. So really the only thing that you pay it forward to help me out is just break more shit.
break it because he wants to fix it.
I rely on people to be human. The more you fuck it up, the more money I make. So don't be shy. I'm not shy,
All right. So guys, I am FAA guidelines. Okay. Can't be using the F word. We're going to have to beep you out now. All right. We can use John Wayne cuss words. Okay. John Wayne cuss words.
Like, how do you
Dag nabbit?
Dag nabbit? Schnitzerfritzel.
Anyway, so yes, I mean, the best thing is just if you need IT advice or you need service or you want to go shopping, even at this late point in the holiday year, I'll put my information in the chat. I'll be more than happy to help you out, whether it's Windows or Mac or Android, or iPhone or your smart devices, your internet, your car, your gaming.
Okay. All right. Matt, you can go through lists like nobody's business. So I'm going to stop you there and say, if you haven't guessed yet, Rich Beyer and Matt Roseman are my Hebrew ha-has. They keep us going. They keep us laughing. And I let them run for a little bit, but then I look at the clock and go, we have 7 minutes and we're going to shut this down. And then they're like, oh, you're being a mom again. I have 4 children, 3 sons. Go deal with that. I'll talk to you in just a moment. Anyway, so as we get ready to wrap up, is there any comments or any questions that anyone has for anybody else before I do the wrap up on today's episode?
Great to see everybody.
That's what I was about to say too. Nice to see everybody. It's beautiful to be part of it. Thanks.
Okay, good. So I'm going to do a bit of a wrap up, and this is for 2025. As you guys know, I do a little bit of meditation, do a little bit of ceremony, kind of do my thing. And one of the things that is definitely popping for 2025 is this. It has never been easier to make money. And if it's hard to make money, then please change what you're doing. Okay? And there are many people here that are more than willing to help you out with that change. If you feel that it is a spiritual disease, then you want to talk to Kathy McGranahan or myself. I recommend Kathy first, okay? Kathy McGranahan or myself. If it is a mental challenge, you want to talk to Mark Mathis, okay? If it is you're concerned about leadership or you're concerned about how to go about building community, you want to talk to Clara Noble. She is one of those that has totally been able to do that. AI, you go to Jeff, or you can kind of tell where people are. The other thing is if you want to learn how to create a business that you don't have to be present for except at small points, you want to talk to Thomas Gay. He is the man that knows how to make SaaS. And believe it or not, you don't have to be a programmer to have a business that you aren't needed to run it. Okay? I think he's on business 4, 5. I don't know. I can't remember, Tom. But Engage Pro is like the fourth or fifth SaaS whole companies he has built. He keeps selling the companies and then he gets another idea. Sucks to be him. Because now he's like, oh my God, I've got myself another business and I was trying to be retired and I only did this so that I'd stay out of my wife's hair. If I'm putting too many words in your mouth, Tom, you're welcome to unmute and to chime in.
Well, yeah, the one thing you do is you allow me to laugh at myself. And that's good. That's therapeutic.
Yeah. So that's Tom. And then Mr. Robert, who I absolutely adore because he is a chameleon and not in the Janice two-faced type of way. He is a chameleon in that the number of communities he is tapped into and the number of people he knows is logarithmic. The older he gets, the better he gets. Okay. So I definitely want you two to definitely get highlighted here as we get ready to close out for today. But for 2025, realize what you're doing, okay? You were crazy. You were totally crazy. Stop trying to be normal. I want you to stop being normal today, okay? Stop trying to have any semblance of normality because if you're in this Open Friday Coffee and you have lasted to the end of the hour, you have made it through all 60 minutes of this program. You are not normal. And this is why. You looked at the world, you looked at what society had to offer, and you went, skip that noise, I'm going to go work for myself. That's insanity. You decided to take all the risk and none of the potential profits. You took all the uncertainty. All right. So I wanted to just realize, kind of acknowledge your courageous nature. I know you may feel that you are not courageous. I know you may feel like, well, I'm not that brave. And all I can say is the heck you are. Yes, you are. Start taking that label. You are a brave and independent person who decided you didn't like what you saw in society. You had a solution, and now you're actually making a living solving other people's issues. Okay. So I don't care how high up on a mountain you go, Kathy McGranahan, I will reach out and find you and it will call you back down into civilization because at no other time has civilization needed what you offer. What you're offering is needed and valued by people like me. I see you. I see the years and years of turmoil that Robert's gone through. I see the years and years of struggle wondering how am I going to make payroll that Thomas has gone through. I see the challenging times of I want to do something, I just don't have a singularity. I have no idea how to sell myself, Mike McQuinn, because I do so much because I'm a multi-dimensional person, Ingrid McKnight. And last but not least, I want to make sure everybody has a home, but I'm kind of getting burnout, Diane Noto. Okay, so those are one of those things. If you feel yourself getting burnout, please join us for Open Friday Coffee. We will be available in 2025. I'm shutting down the 8gates.com, and the website that you want to find me on is JanineBoland.com. It finally got out of Google jail. Long story, 5 years ago. It's out of Google jail. Google acknowledges that they made a mistake. Yeah, they'll never do that, but it's out of Google jail. And you can go to JanineBoland.com/connect, and that's where we'll put the links for registering for Open Friday Coffee. It's not on yet because it's not January 1st. So you'll have to go back there. And people say, oh, Janine, but you'll lose people. I said, I hope so. I hope they're so busy doing what they're doing, making the world a better place. They don't have time for me. They're too busy making it happen. Go for it. Do good things. Realize you're fabulous and great. And we'll see you next year. Thank you for showing up tonight. Bye now.